Well, as very briefly, I wanted to take on the Noble Lord Evans and the Noble Lord Harper on just a couple of inferences in what they said. The sentiment was made that we must show courage and face down terrorist supporters. And some of us have been arguing that for some time, and to be honest with you, there's been an almighty silence from many people in Parliament. I just didn't like the inference somehow that the movers of this amendment were cowering, when in fact they have been the very people who have been arguing in many instances to fight back against the anti-Semitism that's been on our streets. So that was the first thing. I also thought that the suggestion that we in Parliament are so brave and we can protect the Learning Centre next door in the park was slightly ill-judged in view of the fact that it seems to me as though this Parliament is increasingly like Fort Knox, and that actually we're not in a situation where we're kind of all wandering around freely and bravely, and yet we're suggesting that we open up the park to the public for a learning centre and that they can just like wander in and so on and so forth, whereas we need armed guards, we need big barriers everywhere and so on. It is an unfair and ludicrous comparison. So there will be, and there should be, a memorial in the gardens. Everybody agrees with that. It will be a hugely important symbol, very important. The idea that anyone who doesn't want the learning centre be there doesn't want a learning centre has missed all of the hours and hours and hours of debates in which we explained why we did want a learning centre that was a fitting learning centre, and to be honest, the underground plans is a rather insulting learning centre, in my opinion. But I do think that we should recognise that the people who are moving this motion are doing so in good faith, not because they're frightened of terrorist supporters, but because they're being sensible about the real consequences of what we're deciding here today.